Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com. Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you...
What's going on, everybody? It's your main man, 360, the poet from the Morning Wood, and I'm here to talk to you about the Sci-Fi Center. It's your Vegas home for science fiction, horror, and fantasy. From comic books, toys, and posters to movie screenings and live events, they've got you covered. Located at 900 Cameron Avenue, Suite B209. Give them a call.
No limit to the limit. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp. No limit to the limit with Robert and Vicky Bell. I thought I told you. No limit to the limit for better or for worse. No limit to the limit for richer or poor. No limit to the limit in sickness and health. I thought I told you to love and cherish until death do you part. 1 + 1 =
1.
2 is bigger, but it's
Still 1.
1 1,000, but 2
10,000.
Team Bell, Rob and Vicky Bell, Hot 702.5.
We out.
No limit to the limit. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp. No limit to the limit with Robert and Vicky Bell. I thought I told you. No limit to the limit for better or for worse. No limit to the limit for richer.
Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp with Vicky and Robert Bell on Hot 702.5 FM, Risky Radio.
The God sent one. Thank God for bringing you into my life.
Thank God for giving you the insight to make me your wife.
I thank God. Opening my eyes, making me see you are the best thing for me. With you, baby, I know you are the real deal.
Brightens up my life.
Baby, you are the one.
Together we are anything that's good just can't be wrong.
Baby, I'm so glad you made me your king.
You know, every king needs a queen.
I'm glad, so glad that I'm your king. Yeah. People don't know what we've been through, no.
What we've been through, no.
Some people can't tell us, no, they can't tell us what to do, no.
People can't be no.
We come
Where we've come.
You are the one. Go ahead, Lady Bell. You played that song.
Yes. Hey. Welcome to Marriage Bootcamp / Marriage Warfare. We're here to have real, honest, and unfiltered conversations about marriage, the struggles, the victories, and everything in between. This is the platform for the disciplined, the dedicated, and the wedded warriors. Let me introduce my co-host of 28 years, Robert Bell, the commitment colonel, leading the charge and lasting love. But before I do that,
Go ahead, lady.
I want to tell y'all that song was written for us by our Uncle Luke.
Uncle Luke Hayes. Luke Hayes wrote that song, and we didn't even know Uncle Luke at that time.
We knew him.
We
but
knew
not
him.
Like, you know.
We didn't know he was a songwriter.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
would go to this brunch every Sunday. You gonna tell the story? I'm not gonna tell
You
it.
can tell the story.
Since my memory is a little better than yours.
Yeah.
We would go to this brunch every Sunday, and he sat across from us. Luke Hayes, he'd been a song director, musician for over 50 years. And I think we're celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Was it 20 years?
It was our 20th anniversary. And he came to me and said, I got something for you. And he wrote the lyrics to that song. He wrote the lyrics to that song on our 20th anniversary. And he gave us the song. And we just read the lyrics. And just the lyrics was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
People don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you are my wife, but people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You came into my life, but people don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you don't know our story. He said, I sit there and I look at y'all. I see y'all peace. I see y'all love. I see y'all joy. But I know it took some things to get there.
Yep.
So people don't know. They don't know the whole story. You got to always, no matter what, read the whole resume, no matter what. After they done talking, read the whole resume. After they doing smiling, read the whole resume, the ups, the downs, the ins and outs. Even as you announced, welcome to Marriage Bootcamp here with the Bells at Hot 702.5 Risky Radio. They don't know as we talk from our experience. They don't know as we talk from our examples. They don't know the ups and downs. They don't know the ins and outs.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead, Lady Bird. You want to say something?
But what I want to say, though, Uncle Luke wrote it, but then Millard, he orchestrated it. Millard Jackson. And Reggie Gonzalez. And Paris Red. The three of them, they worked and they coordinated and they produced that. Well, Millard produced it.
But he produced the music. He produced the track to go along with the lyrics. So Uncle Luke Hayes wrote the song for our 20th anniversary.
Right.
We were celebrating our 25th anniversary.
That was
we were celebrating our 25th anniversary. And since we were renewing our vows at that time, I said, we need to go on and get this song laid out on the track.
Right.
And that's when Uncle Luke sent us to Millard Jackson, another tremendous songwriter, producer, bad on the keyboards and all of that. Everybody around Vegas know Millard Jackson. So he said, okay, I'm going to compose some music to this. Then he said, well, we got a male and female part. And I said, I got to go with my man, Reggie Gonzalez. I got to go with Reggie Gonzalez and Paris Red. So we went with Reggie Gonzalez and Paris Red and Millard producing the song, Lady Bell. And the love they showed us. They showed us. I'm like, we going to come out of our pocket for him to write music to this and for them to lay down the tracks on this. And they said, we doing it out of the love because we love you guys. Mm-hmm. Whatever y'all want to bless us with, whatever y'all want to give us, hold up, let me rewind because I said whatever y'all want to bless me with. Whatever y'all want to bless, I ain't going to go there. It's still too early, Lady Bell. But we want to thank Millard. We want to, first of all, thank Uncle Luke Hayes. We want to thank Millard Jackson. We want to thank Reggie Gonzalez and Paris Red for completing that song for us. That was They Don't Know About Us. The struggles, the ups and downs, the ins and outs, Lady Bell, of marriage. Thank you. After 28 years, we coming up on 28 years already. Is it 28?
This is the 28.
29. So we got like a year and a half to plan the 30th.
What do you mean plan the 30th?
I'm already plotting. I'm like, man, the 30th here already.
You play too much.
So get ready, y'all. Some plans is gonna be coming out. We're gonna give y'all like a year and a half if y'all want to come and celebrate with us. 30 years of marriage. 30 years of marriage.
Ooh, my hair is all over the place.
Your hair is all over the place, Lady Bell. That wind was crazy this morning. But Lady Bell, It's Saturday, April 26, 2025. Already, and it's a lot going on. Did we hit the 100-day mark yet with that dude in the office? I think we hit the 100. If we ain't, we still got a long way to go, Lady Bell. And since we got a long way to go, I must, if you give me a few minutes to get into this recall and review, Lady Bell. And time after time, you always ask me, Rob, why do we have to do a recall and review? Why do we got to keep repeating ourselves? Because we so doggone forgetful, Lady Bell. Remember how we would walk out of church, let's say we didn't make it to church that Sunday, and we see somebody, how was service? Service was amazing. The Spirit of the Lord moved. Everything was great. God showed up. Well, what did the pastor preach on? I don't know, but
the Spirit moved.
But the Spirit moved in. It was good. Mm-hmm. What verse did he come out? I don't know. But the praise team did their thing, had the whole church rocking and rolling. But what did he preach on? What did he say? We forget, Lady Bell. We so forgetful. So we can forget a Sunday morning sermon and everything that's going on through the week. We got to do a recall and review, Lady Bell, because we put this information out here because we wish, what we always say, we wish somebody I wish somebody would have told me that.
Right.
You getting married? Oh, it ain't that easy. I wish somebody would have told me that. Mm-hmm. You getting married? You go, hey, for richer, for poor? Do you really understand what that means? I wish somebody would have told me that. Mm-hmm. For better or for worse? Mm-hmm. For worse? Yeah, I'm getting married. I wish somebody would. Do you understand when you say rich or poor? Mm-hmm. Do you understand in sickness and in health? Do you understand until death do you part? Do you understand that? Do you understand keeping yourself to him and him only? Keeping yourself to her and her only? Do you understand? Do you really understand that? I wish somebody would have told me that, Lady Bell. Just trust God. No, it takes more than just trusting God. I wish somebody would have told me that. 28 years of marriage. I'm going to tell you some things that they didn't tell me. Yes, you need more than God. Yes, you need more than just going to church. And as we get into this recall and review, you got to do more than go to church, Lady Bell, because as we always say, recall and review, where two are gathered. You and her have to get together and pray at home before you go to church. You and her have to get together and pray at home and read the word, whatever you're reading, whatever your spiritual belief is, whatever your spiritual structure is, whatever your foundation is. You got to do it at home. Mm-hmm. You can't wait till Sunday. I wish somebody would have told me that. Mm-hmm. When you praying, I'm waiting till Sunday. I'm waiting on the pastor. I need a word. I'm waiting on Sunday. I'm waiting on the pastor. I wish somebody would have told me you can't wait on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I wish somebody would have told me that. You can't wait until Sunday to pray. You can't wait until Sunday to read a word. You can't wait until Sunday to get a word. Do not forsake the assemblies of yourselves together. Do not forsake. We hear that Sunday after Sunday. Are you coming to church? No, I don't feel like it. No, do not forsake the assembly of yourself together. You better come on. But what good is assembling, fellowshipping, if we haven't gathered? First, me and you must gather at home. Mm-hmm. We must gather at home before we fellowship, Lady Bell. I wish somebody would have told me that, Lady Bell. Hey, can I go there? Life insurance policy, recall and review. Husbands, father, man of the house, priest, warrior. Do you have a life insurance policy? Come on, I've been saying this for 10 years. You still ain't got a life insurance policy? You still ain't got a life insurance policy? Okay, I know your job, I know your place of employment got some type of life insurance policy on you, but that's normally like a $10,000. But you, husband, you, father, must have some type of insurance policy. Why? Just in case something happens to you. Just in case something happened to you, your wife and children will be okay for a few years. Lady Bell, can I step on some toes, Lady Bell? I wish somebody would have told me this. Now, we teach and tell people to get a life insurance policy. Whatever your income is, we recommend the husband. If you make $100,000 a year, you should get a minimum of $100,000 life insurance policy. That way, your income is covered for at least 5 years for your family. Do you really want your wife to sell some chicken dinners? Do you really want her out there washing cars? Do you? You know, I didn't see this in Cleveland, but they're good for this in Vegas. They out there with a poster sign with a picture of their lost loved one collecting money at traffic lights. Do you really want your wife and kids doing that? Do you really want your wife and kids to get a GoFundMe account? Mm-hmm. Do you really want that when all you have to do is call your insurance man and get your insurance policy? Mm-hmm. I can't afford an insurance policy. Who told you that?
That's right.
Who told you that? You got to cut back on somewhere. You going to dinner 3-4 times a month. You got to cut it down to 2. Mm-hmm. You buying Jordans, you buy $150, $200 tennis shoes, you have to stop that. If you buying 3 pairs of Jordan tennis shoes, go get you 1 pair a year. Mm-hmm. Or better yet, go to the knockoff store and get you some tennis shoes. Quit wasting money on nonsense.
Make it a priority. I think what has happened is that we've turned into a society where, I call it the bling bling society. But the fundamentals, a life insurance is a fundamental. When you ask someone to marry you and they say I do and you get married, that should be part of the process where you get a life insurance policy. You don't want to think like that, but it's a reality. You just never know.
Hey, you never know. With the information highway now, mm-hmm. everything is this fast. You see all the time. You see on social media, on the news. Tragically, honeymoon couple dies on honeymoon, or this couple. It was a couple about a year ago. They left the reception and got into a car accident.
Yeah.
So
Tomorrow's not promised.
Tomorrow's not promising. Hey, like we say all the time, fearfully and wondrously made, but this body is so freaking fragile.
Yeah. I think, you need policies on the husband and the wife as well. Yeah, I know you're talking to the men, but husbands and wife. And it gives you a chance and the opportunity to grieve properly. You can grieve and you're not thinking about, how am I going to pay the bills? How I'm going to do whatever I need to do. But I think that it gives you an opportunity to really grieve where you're not making bad decisions or hasty decisions and bad choices because you're grieving, you're dealing with financial hardship right now. And it's, if you just put that safety net there, and that's part of loving. As you always said, that's you saying, I love you from the grave. It's just that simple.
I love you from the grave. An insurance policy.
And it sounds morbid, but it's a reality.
If you're making $100,000 a year, young man, young husband, young father, you should have a minimum of $500,000 policy. Mm-hmm. That way your income, your wife and children are covered for at least the next 5 years with that $100,000 per year. Mm-hmm. She ain't struggling. She ain't stressed out. Side note, can I give a side note? The church ain't going to help her. After they done praying, after they close the casket, after they go to the graveyard, after they do all of that, after the repast, mm-hmm. pastor, bishop, apostle, the reverend going to say, we love you, sister. We love you, Sister Bell. And we love Brother Bell. If there's anything that we can do, don't hesitate to call. You can call. They're not going to answer. They're not going to get back to you. I'm 40 years of being to the church. I don't seen it time after time after time where did you call the church? They ain't returned my call. Did you talk to pastor? Yeah. Did you talk to pastor? He said he was going to get back to me, but he hasn't. Well, who you talk to? I talked to the secretary and she told me to come in and fill out some forms.
I don't know how we went down this road, but one, it was hard for me though, but I think it's a necessity. As you start having children, get life insurance policies on them as well. Get life insurance policy on your kids, just in case you got, Lady Bell, when I said you got to have a life insurance policy, and we talked about, we call it emergency. You gotta you said last week, at such a time as this, things is getting crazy. The economy is getting crazy. Yes,
the stock market is getting crazy. Life is getting crazy. Mm-hmm. Prices at the grocery store is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They already crazy, but now they are ridiculous. Thank God that Audis have come to the valley. I love me some Audis. You know I'm going to get into my Audi story. Thank God that Audis has showed up. If you want to save you a few dollars, a few pennies, you got to go to Aldi's grocery store. They got one on Craig Road in Clayton. They got one in Henderson. Shop at Aldi's. Hey, I'll tell the story later, but that was our first date to the grocery store. They said, Rob, our first date was at the grocery store, Aldi's grocery store, Cleveland, Ohio, Green Light Shopping Center at the corner of Euclid and Green Road, right next to
Key Bank.
Right next to the Key Bank. You remember, huh? Mm-hmm. Right next to the Key Bank. So you gotta have you some emergency monies. And you know what's ridiculous, Lady Bell? When I say emergency monies, $1,000, 1,000 American dollars, emergency money. Today is not enough. $1,000 is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. I'm telling you, it's $1,000 emergency money. You got a wife and kids, $1,000. It's time to cut back. You can't keep, we talking about buying a life insurance policy. You can't keep brunching every weekend. You can't keep clubbing every weekend. You can't keep parlaying every weekend. You can't go to every concert that comes to the city. You can't move every time the Joneses move. We going to do this. Y'all going out, you hanging out with the Joneses, and you can't afford it. Hey, we understand it's okay. What's the old saying, Vicky? You used to tell me that it's okay to say no, Rob. Mm-hmm. It's okay to say no. You ain't got to get no. Do y'all? Hey, we going out to brunch. Thanks for inviting us. We not going. You ain't got to get no explanations. Just say no. We're not going. Brunching is ridiculous. You want to go to brunch every Sunday, every Saturday. It is ridiculous. And you look up, can I tell y'all something? Me and this lady would go out dancing every Friday. We would go out dancing every Saturday. We would go to church and then go to brunch every Sunday. And Monday morning when I wake up, she would write down an itemized bill. You remember that, lady?
I was bringing it to your attention.
She would write down an itemized bill of the money we wasted that weekend. And I'm like, hold it, wait a minute. Now, this is just going out dancing. Wait a minute. We spent $200 Friday night? We spent another $200 Saturday night?
Yep.
We spent another $150 on Sunday?
Yep.
Wasting $500 to $600 a weekend. Mm-hmm. Going out dancing and brunching and dining out. You have to stop the foolishness. She was showing me, which you just bring it to my attention. Mm-hmm. Rob, you got to stop the foolishness. Just because you got it, you ain't got to waste it. That's what you were telling me, right, Lady Bell?
Yes.
Jump in anytime.
Yeah, no, I just felt like, it was fun. I think we're very sociable. Mm-hmm. And we like being around people, and we're very sociable, but it was getting expensive. We had to pick and choose.
Right.
And then we like to travel.
Right.
So it was like, okay, we can do this, or we can travel. Right.
You can waste $300-400 a weekend, or you can, every 2 months you can travel. 4 times 3. 4 times 300 is 1,200. 1,200 times 3. You don't go out and kick it for 3 months. That's 3,600. That's a nice vacation. Mm-hmm. 3,600 is a nice vacation. Mm-hmm. It's a nice getaway. Yeah. You don't even need 3,600. If you save 1,500, but before all of that, I told you earlier, $1,000 emergency funds ain't enough. You got to have you some emergency money. You still ain't got no water. You still ain't got no stock of food prepared. You still ain't got a generator.
A generator, 5-pound bag of rice and greens, because every time there's an emergency, people have to run out and get these things. And like you said, why do you keep having to run out and get these things? Just keep them.
And they're going to start costing you more, because they just said the other day, as you're going to see, the shelves are going to start getting, it's going to be less and less stuff on the shelves because the tariff and stuff being moved. There's stuff sitting in the docks in China, Lady Bell. Mm-hmm. There's stuff that they're not shipping out, not just China, but other countries. So we're going to start seeing our shelves getting Less stuff on the shelves. So what do that mean? Less stuff on the shelves. Higher prices.
Higher prices. But you know, it reminds me of that movie Hunger Games.
Hey, I ain't gonna go there, Lady Bell. But I said all those things about being ready, emergency money, life insurance policy, having water, having food, having a power source, a generator, having you some protection and some ammunition. You should have some type of protection in your house for your family. And Lady Bell, last week when I talked about having a generator and life insurance policy, you said something, and you said it real quick. You said making sure you have all these things, husband, is showing a sign of leadership. Mm-hmm. Husband, you should already have a plan. Mm-hmm. You should already have a plan that hey honey, this is my plan. I'm working on getting some extra emergency monies. I don't already got. You see those 5 cases of water out there in the garage? Mm-hmm. Don't touch those. That's only right. For emergency purposes. You see this cabinet over here? All this rice and beans and stuff is for emergency. Tuna fish, peanut butter, all crackers, mm-hmm. all that stuff is for just in case. Mm-hmm. This is my hey. You know, I'm gonna buy. We gonna spend $40 a week until we get all this stuff stocked up. Mm-hmm. We're gonna stock up this much just get. And you know what, honey, I think we need a generator. Mm-hmm. You, husband, father, man of the house, priest of the home. Mm-hmm. You should already be planning this stuff. You should be writing this down and going to her. She's waiting on you. Mm-hmm. She's waiting on you, husband. Go ahead, Lady Bell.
And as a wife, is speaking from a wife's perspective, it gives you a sense of comfort that, oh, okay, he got me. Okay, we got water, we got protection, we got ammo, we got cash saved up. And, you know, you may think, well, what are you saving up for? Or what do you expect to happen? You don't know.
Just in case.
You just don't know. I mean, you just don't know. Emergency, it just happens.
We didn't think 2020 was going to happen.
Exactly.
And I said last week and a couple weeks ago, I think 2020 was just a practice run. Mm-hmm. And then a lady was on 60 Minutes last week, and see, they're not talking about it because, like I said, why do we do recall and review? Because we get distracted.
Yeah.
We get distracted. Did Shador get drafted yet?
I know.
We get distracted. What happened with Shay Shay? What happened with We get distracted, Lady Bell. Yeah. We get distracted, especially us black folks. We get distracted with dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Shay Shay is worth over $70 billion, and we worried about Shay Shay. Mm-hmm. They showed you in what's that movie I just said? Get Out.
Get Out.
Come on, black man, you've been through the trap. Jordan Peele just showed you a couple years ago. Get Out. Yeah. Hey, in my Bible reading, my Bible believer, there's nothing new under the sun. When the colonizer wants to get you, he will get you, black man. Mm-hmm. Lady Bell, can I go left for a minute? What is the fascination with the snow bunnies? What is the fascination with the snow? I don't understand it. What was the fascination with the pale woman? Black man, what? Can y'all please help me? Lady Bell, I hate looking at the NFL draft.
Oh, my God.
I can't take it no more. Where are my young black sisters at when all these dudes is getting drafted to make millions of dollars and they're bringing snow with them?
They're bringing snow.
With them. But see, there we go. We got distracted that easy, Lady Bell. Stay focused,
But
Rob.
It was like right there in your face.
Stay focused, Rob. Do not get distracted. We talked about things are going to get tough. We talked about tithes and offering, and that the black church is bringing in 18 to 20 billion with a B. Mm-hmm. 18 to 20 billion dollars a year.
Right.
Just in case you didn't know what 1 billion, what a B is, that's 1,000. We've been saying 1,000 US dollars ain't enough, but $1 billion is 1,000 millions. Mm-hmm. My God, that's 1,000 millions.
Right.
What is the black church doing with all of that money? We talked about the black church being a storehouse. Mm-hmm. The black church shouldn't have to wait till the food bank to deliver them money. They should have been
To deliver them food.
To deliver them food. They should have been. They should have a storehouse. What is the storehouse? We talked about in Malachi. The storehouse was how they brought 10% of their grain and their corn and their cattle and all of that. Now we're bringing money in. Now the storehouse says, just in case, let me go buy some food for the congregation.
That's right.
Let me go buy some stuff. So when they come here and say, hey, do y'all got any food over there? Yeah, our food, over here at First Hope Baptist, we got the First Hope Baptist grocery store. And you know what it costs you? It don't cost you a thing.
Yep.
No, why don't it cost me nothing? Because we're a storehouse. We're not waiting for the food bank to make us a weekly delivery. Or what the food bank can't make us a weekly delivery no more because the government had cut their funding. But you're a storehouse, church.
Exactly.
You're a storehouse.
Exactly.
Bring all the tithes and offering into the storehouse. Back then it was grain and corn and sheep and cattle. Now people are giving their hard-earned money because you told them to trust God. You told them to believe God. You told them, try. Hey, the boy, this, oh no, the Bible said try me and I'll show you. But Lady Bell, let me see if I can tie this in right quick because it's running through my mind. I'm going to write it down and bring it back next week. So the church is a storehouse. Bishop, pastor, apostle, your people should have some type. They're paying benevolence. If you're going to a church and your pastor got a compound, he got a house, he got a mansion, all his kids got a mansion, all his kids is balling out on the church, and you talking about God is blessing them, and you're struggling from week to week. You're struggling from week to week. I said last week, there's a thin line between faith. It's a thin line between love and hate. You know where there's a thinner line, Lady Bell?
Where?
There's a thinner line between faith and foolishness. That line between love and hate is thin. So between faith and foolishness, well, why did you do that? I'm having faith. Well, I was down to my last $150, and the pastor told me to sow a seed of faith. And now my life is cut off. That ain't faith. That's foolishness.
That's right.
Your water got cut off. I'm waiting on God. He supplied water to Moses. Just strike the rock, Moses. Speak to the rock, Moses. But see, your water got turned back on because of your disobedience. You ain't faith. You ain't blessed yet because of your disobedience. Right. There's a thin line between faith and foolishness. Yeah. Well, I give my tithes and offering to the church. And if the pastor don't do right by, that's between him and God. But then you and your husband arguing about $10. You and your husband arguing about a budget. You and your husband fighting about the kids need this and the kids need that. But you trust the pastor to give him paying your tithes and offering every week, and you don't care what he do with it. That's foolishness.
That's foolishness.
That is foolishness, Lady Bell.
And it's like we always teach, home first.
What?
Home first.
Where?
Home.
When?
First.
Always, always, always. No matter what. Always. Thank you. Recall and review. No matter what. Always home first. Where two are gathered. Always home first. Lady Bell, my eyes are getting little. My allergies are kicking in. Go ahead, Lady Bell. I feel you had something to say.
No.
We talked last week. When we talk about life insurance policy, I got to get this in, Lady Bell.
Okay, go ahead.
We talked about life insurance, and we talked about get enough to where your family is comfortable for 5 years, or at least the bills are being covered for 5 years, and she ain't got to do a GoFundMe. She ain't got to cook no chicken. She ain't got to fry no chicken or fry fish. And I love frying fish, but if something happened to this lady, I'm not frying no fish dinners. I'm going to fry some fish in celebration of life, but I'm not going to fry no fish to try to bury you. A life insurance policy is just to carry your family on until she can get on her feet. Yeah. You know, I got to make sure this woman got a good life insurance policy, because I know Deacon Jones is like, I got you, Sister Bell, Brother Bell. Old Deacon Jones is waiting. Old Deacon Jones is, you think Shannon Sharp waiting for something young. Old Deacon Jones, like, girl, he left you on the jam. Don't worry. I retired from Ford Motor Company, and I got a good pension, girl. I can take care of you. No, you don't want Deacon Jones creeping in on your wife after you gone because you left her in the struggle. Don't leave your wife in a struggle and got Deacon Jones creeping up on her. True story. It happens every day. You ain't got to worry about Deacon Jones. You ain't got to worry about Deacon Jones unless you want to be with Deacon Jones. But you ain't be like, ooh, things is tight over here. Things is tight over here. I better go on this date with Deacon Jones.
No.
Because Deacon Jones got a good pension.
I don't care.
He's a retired veteran. He got that good VA check coming in. He already got a house that's paid for. Girl, come on over here, move in with me. You ain't got to worry about a thing.
Ladies, it's nothing like having your own. Ladies, hear me. It is nothing like having your own. When you move in situations like that, it costs you more than you know. Have your own. And if you left in a jam, get a job.
Get a job. Lady Bell, the reason I went backward on the life insurance policy, because we everything we hear now, generational wealth, generational wealth. A life insurance policy, I'm going to look right into this camera. Can y'all see me? A life insurance policy is not generational wealth. Your house is not generational wealth. What is generation? 10 years?
10 years.
So if you got $1 million, that's going to carry your wife for a good 10 to 15 years. But that's not, the Bible says an inheritance for your children. So you talking about enough for your grandbaby when we talking about generational wealth. Hey, the house ain't even paid off and you talking about generational wealth. You got $100,000 life insurance policy and you talking about generational wealth. Cam Newton he coaches some young dudes and they're talking about, well, when I get my $1 million, Cam Newton said, what you think? My $1 million is generational wealth? $1 million not a generational wealth. Go ahead, Lady Bell.
Well, when you look at the time value of money, $1 million in today's time isn't going to take you far at all. I mean, it's
peanuts.
Not. Exactly. Especially when you look at the price of housing, the price of gas, the price of vehicles. It's just not going to take you far at all.
Sound like you talking about just the price of living.
It's the price of living.
The price of living.
The cost of existence.
We talked about, I'm going to hit on this Lady Bell before we get on something. We talked about, we're not talking about if you're going to get a life insurance policy, you've been buying Gucci and Louis and all of that. Balenciaga. Did I say that right? All them fancy names that we can't pronounce, but it makes us feel so good when we put those name brand stuff on us. For my Bible believers and my Bible reader, the Bible said a good name, a good name, a man better than silver and gold is a good name. A big old house, a good name. Uncle Shannon don't ruin his name.
Oh my
Uncle
God.
Shannon don't ruin his name. Hey, we got as a man, lady, but can I be real? As a man, we got to always be on our P's and Q's. Hey, like I said, they told us in the movie, get out, be careful. As a man, we must always be careful.
Yeah.
I would never do that. Don't say that, dude. I would never go there. Don't say that, dude. Listen to a dude that's 61 years old. But see, the thing is, we always have this conversation. If whatever we do, whatever good we do, whatever bad we do, if you do something that ain't right, as my mama said, and your mama said, and your grandmama said, consequences. You ready for the consequences? Go on out there and do it. Go on out there, and you got to deal with the consequences.
That's right.
Remember, the kids was asking me, Dad, why didn't you never get in a dope gang? Why didn't you become a dope boy? All my people were big time dope boys, but when my mama told me, go on out there with them. Go on out there with them Negroes. I'm not bailing you out. But what's most importantly, she told me, I ain't coming to jail to see you. Go on out there with them and get in the game. I'm not coming to no prison. I'm not wasting my time coming to no prison to visit you. That made me more than enough scared of jail. No, okay, then you ain't gonna come and see me. No, I'm not gonna come and see you. I'm not gonna come and see you. I'm not gonna come and visit you. You're gonna be a memory because you ain't got to go out there and do that. Go ahead, Lady Bell. Look like you want to say something. Oh, so we're talking about the real cost of stuff. So Gucci and Louis and all that. And then now everybody talking about, oh, China showing us the real deal now with the real. We been knew that Michael Jordan tennis shoes only cost them $10 to make. Now we act like in 2025, China just said they released it. It only cost them 15. We knew that. Why did Shaq start making the Shaq shoe? Because I want my little young black kids to be able to afford some shoes. Y'all ain't got to. And what did the little black kids say? We don't want no Shaqs. Mm-hmm. We don't want them Shaqs. We want some Jordans. Mm-hmm. Hey, what the Bible say? By the renewing of your mind. Mm-hmm. Black men, we need to renew our mind. It's okay to put on some Shaqs. It's okay to put on some off-brand shoes. It's okay to put on some, what did our kids used to call them? Some Busters? Was it Busters?
Something like that, yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to wear off-brand. If you need a colonizer's name on your clothes or on your body to make you feel good, and don't get me wrong, we all like nice things. We all like nice things. I like nice things. Lady Bell loves nice things. But it's all right. Hey, it's not what you can buy, it's what you can afford.
I've learned through the years, it's the people that are not flashy, that are low key, that's holding the bank.
One that low key and the more and more we have traveled, we have seen them like we don't see Fred Sanford in Lamont on vacation.
Yes.
With what was the auntie what was the
Aunt Esther?
Aunt Esther. We don't see Fred Sanford and Aunt Esther in Lamont on vacation like. And don't judge a book by a cover.
Oh, please don't.
We don't see the Beverly Hillbillies on vacation.
We saw the Beverly Hillbillies on
don't
vacation.
Judge a book by its cover. And then we seen us. We seen Tyrone and Keisha.
Yep.
Gucci down to the side. Louis Vuitton down to the socks. This, and that. Come on, y'all. Let's go over here. How much that cost?
Yeah.
How much that cost? Whoa, $5. Hold it. You got on Gucci and Louis and all of that. You blinged out, and then we say we're going over here, and everything we do, you got to ask how much it costs.
I'm gonna give you a scenario. I don't know. Robert and I, our last trip, I think we were gone about 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, and part of that we took was it a 13-day cruise, mm-hmm. and we went to some amazing places. So 13 days, that was a long time for us to be gone. But we were talking to some people who were on the cruise. And when I tell you that they look like the Beverly Hillbillies, they really did. And so the cruise was coming to an end and we were just sitting around talking. So they said, well, we're staying on for the next leg of it, which was another part of the country. So we were already gone.
But they had already been on the ship for 20 days.
Yeah. So when I start calculating in my head the money that they spent, and I'm looking at them looking like they were cleaning the ship versus being passengers on the ship, it just resonated with Robert and I. We were just like, what? Okay, so you were on the first leg. This is the middle leg, and y'all staying on for the other part. And
another 14 days?
Yeah, it was just, but that was expensive.
But it's like you always taught me. It's about prioritizing your money, having a budget, having a plan, living below your means. It's not what you can buy; it's what you can afford. Yeah. Just because you can buy it, don't mean you can afford it. You go get a credit check, and the bank says you've been approved for a $600,000 house. Just because you've been approved for it, and they say you can buy it, but you can't afford it.
Right.
What good of having a $500,000 house and you got your car broke down in front of it?
Yeah.
You can't maintain the yard. Mm-hmm. The roof is leaking. Mm-hmm. The gutter is hanging off of it.
Mm-hmm. And those are all things that go along with a house. But when you're shopping for a house and the bank is looking to approve you for a loan, they take you to the max, and you're not factoring in those things.
The hot water tank go out. You got to be able to pay for that, to get a new hot water tank. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be living in a $500,000 house and going to the laundromat. Going to the laundromat. Can you imagine living in a $500,000 house and going to the
what you say,
laundromat?
$500,000 house? That isn't a lot right now.
Well, I know. You know, I'm old. I'm still on 2002 prices.
I see. I see. I was gonna say that.
But hey, as we getting ready to wrap up, Lady Bell, we got about 10 more minutes. We might as well end it. I ain't even gonna get into the new notes.
Okay, I'll just put those up.
No. What were they? Oh, yeah, dude, let me get those right quick. Yeah, I forgot about those. We can do those in 10 minutes. We are talking about where two are gathered together. The importance too. And Lady Bell said earlier, always home first. Always home first. Let me tell y'all something. After being 61 years old and being with this woman since June of 1992, our first date was in September of 1992. We went to the Aldi's grocery store. I got some gifts. When I was at Aldi's the other day, girl, I got some gifts from you at Aldi's. I got you a little keychain at Aldi's.
Aww.
I got you a little keychain, a little shopping cart. I got you a little Aldi's. It's an Aldi's thing. They wouldn't understand. It's an Aldi's thing.
You fell in love with that picture.
I got in line at 4:00 in the morning because they was giving away 100 gold tickets. And I got in line, and I got
earrings.
I got one of the golden tickets, and it had $100 gift card in it. And she went to Aldi's yesterday and spent that whole $100. And it was like, I was like, oh, these prices ain't much better. She's like, do you see all these groceries we got?
Oh my
so
God.
I want to keep this. I'm gonna keep this as a souvenir. Okay. So we still go back and forth about when we went to that trip to Aldi's, if she came and picked me up or did I go pick her up. It don't make a difference. It was a date, and here we are. 5 years later? My God, won't he do it? Lady Bell, we talked about where two are gathered. You got to remember, this really maybe during the pandemic and starting about the importance of two, where two are gathered, because we were talking about essential and non-essential, and they shut down the church and people couldn't go together for church. So they said church was non-essential. So you husbands have to become essential and come together and pray at home and worship at home and fellowship at home. But what even made more important to me, because you was allowed to fellowship in the slavery days. Leave that, Lady Bell. You could fellowship. You can come together and have church during slavery days. But as I mentioned a few weeks ago, a man and a black man and a black woman could not get married on the plantation. Oh, where two are gathered together, we can't let that black man wed that black woman. That's why they had to jump to old traditional broom, only to let the other people on the plantation know that they are taken or they're spoken for. But they could fellowship and play church and do church all day long as Master heard them shouting, long as Master saw them dancing. Long as Master saw them reading the word. They wasn't reading the word because they didn't know how to read. They didn't know how to read, but they could fellowship long as y'all shucking and jiving, even in church. Long as y'all dancing and being delivered. But as long as black man, don't you and her come together. Don't you and her come together with a plan. Don't you and her get to come together and become one. Don't you and her come together and have a budget. Don't you and her come together and be focused, but jump around with the rest of them and say hallelujah and say, won't he do it? And I'm the head and I'm not the tail. No, unless two come together. It begins with two. I need for y'all to understand, as things is going to get hard out here. Husband, father, man of the house, priest, whatever you want to call yourself, you can no longer be a sheep. If you're going to church and the pastor's up, this is my pastor and you're my sheep. No, man, it's no longer can you be a sheep. You must be a lion. You don't want to be a lion. You must be an eagle. No longer will I go to a church. If your pastor is a pastor, no, and today he has to be a zookeeper. A zookeeper can handle the lions. The zookeeper can handle the eagles. The zookeeper can handle the giraffe. Because sometimes you got to be a giraffe. You got to look. You got to be above everything and see what's going on.
That's good.
Sometimes you got to be an elephant to remember. You got to remember. They say the elephant got a tremendous memory, Lady Bear. You can't. If you go into a church and everybody is a sheep, what happened to the children of Israel? Circle. Here we go around in circles. Here we go around in circles. You've been going to church for 20 years and you still a freaking sheep? Shame on you, husband. Shame on you. You can't read. You can't. Where two? Lady Bell, can read that right quick as we run out of time. Read that for me. No, stop fellowshipping and where two? Husband, wife. It's time to come together.
The phrase where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name comes from Matthew 18:20. In the Bible, it refers to a promise by God that he will be present among people who gather in his name. This verse is often interpreted as a promise of God's presence in the gatherings for prayer, worship, or fellowship.
Say that again. What was the first two?
Gathering for worship or gatherings for prayer.
Where
worship.
2 are gathered.
Oh,
and
yeah.
God in his presence, gathering for prayer. Where 2, you got to be praying and worshiping and fellowshipping at home. We talked about real brief. They tailgating. Remember we was looking at the draft the other day? They had over 200,000 people packed into that little cheering for who gonna get drafted. And you and her can't come together. They're already getting excited about draft picks, and football season don't even start for another 3 or 4 months. And they already excited about the draftees, and you not excited about home. What did you say, lady? This verse is often interpreted as a promise of God's presence. Your spiritual father, your spiritual headship, your spiritual direction, presence, gathering for prayer and worship, where 2 are gathered. Go ahead, Lady Bell. Read that. We got to get that important stuff out. Read
During slavery.
during the period of slavery.
During slavery in America, gatherings were both permitted and restricted depending on the context and location. While some enslaved people were allowed to gather for work, religious services, or
While some enslaved people was allowed to gather for what?
Work, religious services, or celebrations, especially in certain areas or with permission of their enslavers,
Who they have to get permission from?
their master.
Go ahead.
Others were forbidden from gathering in large groups, particularly outside of their plantations. Enslaved people often found ways to gather secretly in places like woods or hush harbors for religious services, cultural practices, and to maintain a sense of community.
Okay, now go back to in many states. You see that part? In many states?
In many states.
In many states, I'll read it if you can't find it. In many states, African Americans were not permitted to gather in groups of more than 5. Know what they call it now? Loitering. You know, y'all look suspicious. Y'all look suspicious. No more than. So the importance of 2, Lady Bell, as we run out of time, where 2 are gathered. And as you've been saying, at such a time as this. With this woman for 30-something years, 60-something years old. When the rubber hits the road, you better have somebody that got your back. It ain't too many people gonna have your back. Ain't too many people gonna be down for you. Where 2 are gathered. Know what's important of 2 gathered? Because when 2 is gathered, 1 plus 1 will always be
1.
2 is bigger, but it's always
1.
2 is after 1, but it's always
1.
So if 1 can put down 1,000,
2 can do 10,000.
Team Bell, you know who I am.
And you know who he with. Everybody have a wonderful week.
Team Bell, we out. See, that's my fault.